New hurricane alert. We're tracking a tropical storm that could become an especially powerful hurricane over the next few days. And a spectacular lightning storm lights the sky and knocks out the lights in the San Francisco Bay Area. President Clinton announces a new federal gun buyback program to get weapons off the streets. And the U.S. pressures Indonesia to stop the violence in East Timor.
This is the CBS Evening News, with Dan Rather reporting from CBS News headquarters in New York.
Good evening. The potential is growing tonight for a monster Category 4 hurricane on the scale of Hugo and Andrew to deliver a big hit somewhere on the U.S. East Coast over the next 4 or 5 days, possibly from the Carolinas on up. Right now, officially Tropical Storm Floyd is just shy of hurricane force in the Atlantic. Forecasters have no doubt it will become a hurricane. Storm watches are already posted for islands in the Northeast Caribbean. All signs point to a major strengthening as it approaches the U.S. mainland. For an early read on the size, strength, and potential danger of this fast-moving hurricane threat, I spoke a short while ago with our weather consultant, Brian Norcross, at the CBS News Hurricane Center in Miami.
Well, significant, Dan, I think would be the word. Let's go right to the satellite picture here, and let me show you what's going on. Here you see a very large system. Now, it's not very well developed internally yet, but certainly has the possibility of being a very, very strong hurricane. We also see a very strong dip in the jet stream here, and we think that when Floyd gets up into this area here, that's going to keep it north of the islands down here. So they're all in good shape, but things will change over the weekend. That will be replaced with high pressure, deflecting Floyd a little bit to the west, probably scaring Florida. And then early next week, another dip, just like this is forecast. They could shoot Floyd up the East Coast. This is going to be a close call and probably going to be a scary scenario.
Well, Brian, given the potential danger, where on current models does a hurricane figure to hit and when?
Most likely, Dan, north of Florida. We think that this high pressure is going to deflect it toward Florida, but then these dips that have been coming all year have been very strong and are going to provide a very strong river of air north. So again, Carolinas to the entire Northeast may have to deal with this early next week.
Brian Norcross, thanks. There's also front page weather news in the West. In Southern California, Los Angeles is winding up the coolest summer since 1965. In Northern California, a reminder of how widespread the effects of hurricanes can be and of how dangerous lightning can be. Leftovers of a hurricane that hit Mexico the other day generated the most intense lightning storms in the San Francisco Bay Area in at least 20 years. The big overnight light show wasn't all fun. Thousands lost power and thunder triggered car alarms by the hundreds. The political climate is heating up again over gun control. As CBS's Bob Orr reports, President Clinton came out today with a new federal initiative to get some weapons off the streets by offering to buy them.
When the Washington, D.C. Police Department offered to pay $100 for every gun turned in, people lined up around the block with their weapons.
I had no idea that it would be this successful in the district.
Chief Charles Ramsey, who was hoping to snare 24 guns, literally ran out of money and wound up with a confiscated arsenal of nearly 3,000 weapons.
We recovered Tech-9s, Uzis, M16 assault rifles, brand new 45s, 9mm, a lot of very sophisticated weapons.
Similar gun surrender programs have been successful in a number of cities. In Orlando, guns were traded for sneakers. In L.A., for sports tickets.
6 tickets to the San Jose game.
We now know what works.
Today, President Clinton jumped on the gun buyback bandwagon. Flanked by police chiefs and mayors, the president pledged $15 million to help cities get some 300,000 guns off the streets.
Every gun turned in through a buyback program means potentially one less tragedy.
Critics, though, say gun buybacks are more about political public relations than crime fighting.
Gun buybacks do nothing except give individuals a little bit more money to go out and buy a better gun.
Don't tell me that out of 3,000 guns we bought, not one life was saved. I just don't buy into that.
The president also hailed the success of instant background checks on gun buyers. Since November, it's estimated those checks have kept guns out of the hands of 100,000 people who are not allowed to own them. But the event was not just a celebration of success. It was an orchestrated shot at Congress to further tighten gun laws by expanding background checks to cover gun shows. Even with the muscle of the police chiefs and the mayors, It will be a tough fight for the president to win. Bob Orr, CBS News, the White House.
Speaking out for the first time on the Asian crisis in East Timor, President Clinton said today that Indonesia must either stop the violence in the tiny province or allow international peacekeepers to do it. The U.S. military also suspended all official contact with the Indonesian military. Still, top U.S. officials say they see no reason to send U.S. troops to East Timor. CBS's Alan Pizzi is covering the trouble in Indonesia.
The first pictures to emerge from Dili, capital of East Timor, in days show a devastated ghost city. In scenes reminiscent of Serbian ethnic cleansing in Kosovo, armed militias and Indonesian troops opposed to independence for the tiny territory have driven as many as 200,000 people from their homes, their businesses, and even out of the country. Hundreds sheltering in the residence of Roman Catholic Bishop Carlos Bello were herded out, hands over their heads, sent into an unknown exile. All one victim managed to carry was a statue of the Virgin Mary. Hundreds of victims are being looked after by UN officials, but the majority of UN workers will be evacuated tomorrow. A UN Security Council delegation met senior Indonesian government and military officials today and plans to travel to East Timor over the weekend to attempt to assess the situation. The Indonesians continue to deny they need a UN peacekeeping force, going so far as to claim the situation is under control.
There was no shooting over the past 24 hours or so. There was no burning.
Reports from inside East Timor paint a different picture.
A lot of the refugees fled out of the camp last night over the back fence and into the hills behind. Indonesian army was shooting at them as they went.
And in Jakarta, several hundred students fought riot police to protest the government's actions in East Timor. More disturbing to the government, however, is the fact that the Indonesian currency has lost 15% of its value and the stock market took a dive, which could affect world markets. The financial nervousness is being fueled by uncertainty over whether Indonesian President B.J. Habibie is under pressure from the military to step down. The army is politically powerful, and as East Timor shows, it is also ruthless. Alan Pizzi, CBS News, Jakarta.
Still ahead on the CBS Evening News, plans to spray the biggest city in America block by block for mosquitoes. A mysterious plane crash. 19 years later, new clues to what may have happened. And the growing ranks of full-time workers with pay but no benefits. Eye on America looks at a possible solution.
Because we're going to McDonald's.
Why do people love squirrels but hate rats? They're both rodents, and yet the squirrel is tolerated, downright beloved. Why? Does that cute fuzzy tail make that much of a difference? Absolutely. Introducing the all-new 2000 Mitsubishi Eclipse, nicely equipped at 17.7. Further proof that looks do matter.
Something amazing happened here in
Colorado,
Illinois,
Connecticut, and California. I ate Quaker oatmeal for 30 days. So did I. It helped lower my cholesterol 12 points.
22 points.
Oh, man.
We ate ours with raisins.
applesauce.
Sauerkraut.
Really?
Really?
12 points.
It's oatmeal across America.
Yee-haw.
Quaker oatmeal warms you heart and soul.
So, Jane told me about your cholesterol.
I know.
Dad struggled with that too.
Yeah, but Dad didn't have this. My doctor told me about it.
Butter?
No, it's completely different. It's Benecol.
New Benecol reduces bad cholesterol up to 14% and starts to work in just 2 weeks.
My cholesterol's gone down 20 points. This Benecol really works. It really felt good getting those test results.
You never did well on tests.
I did too.
Did not.
New Benecol spreads and dressings, a delicious way to reduce cholesterol.
Did too.
Sometime in the next 15 years, North Korea, Iran, and even Iraq could be aiming nuclear missiles at the United States. That is the forecast today from the CIA, which says all three are capable of developing ballistic missiles with enough range to reach U.S. shores. Russia already has about 1,000 long-range intercontinental missiles, and China about 20, a number the CIA says is likely to rise. A widely respected former United States senator was formally named today to conduct an independent reinvestigation into the Branch Davidian siege near Waco, Texas. CBS's Eric Ingberg reports on the man who says he will get to the bottom of what federal law enforcement agents actually did and did not do, and what, if any, evidence they may have concealed.
John Danforth, a Republican ex-senator from Missouri known for rock-hard integrity, today was handed the 6-year-old Waco shooting mess that has embarrassed the FBI, the Attorney General, and the administration. Danforth pledged to find answers to what he called the dark questions.
Was there a cover-up? That's a dark question. Did the government kill people? How did the fire start? And was there shooting?
Questions of cover-up emerged when the FBI disclosed its agents did fire pyrotechnic tear gas grenades at a part of the besieged Branch Davidian complex hours before the building caught fire. The FBI insists the grenades did not cause the fire. Attorney General Reno gave the moderate Republican Danforth wide-ranging powers. He can file charges and call grand juries. He will not report to Reno, who's disqualified herself, but to her top deputy. He will not use any FBI agents in the investigation. Danforth, an ordained minister as well as a lawyer, is known for independence. He angered GOP conservatives by voting for the Clinton-sponsored ban on assault rifles, but he also led the GOP drive to confirm his protege, Clarence Thomas, to the Supreme Court. He said he's taking the Waco case because it goes to the heart of democracy.
I see at stake the beginning of the Declaration of Independence. That the point of government, the purpose of government, is to protect the life and liberty and the pursuit of happiness of the American people.
Danforth refused to put a time limit on his investigation, but when he was asked if it would run past the Clinton term in office, he said that would seem a long time from now. Eric Ingberg, CBS News, Washington.
We have an update tonight on a story by 60 Minutes 2 correspondent Scott Pelley. Subject, Capitol Hill shooter Russell Weston, who killed 2 people a year ago and who's been apparently delusional in videotaped psychiatric interviews in a case that could push the limits of medical and legal ethics. A federal judge ruled today Weston can be forced to take antipsychotic drugs. This, it is argued, could possibly make him competent to stand trial for murder. Up next on the CBS Evening News, an unprecedented block-by-block assault by New York City SWAT teams to eradicate mosquitoes.
All right, kid. Here we go. 10-9. What do you got? What do you got? Yeah. All right, come on, come on.
What would you do if someone you loved had a heart attack?
Yeah.
Did you know it's now been proven that the same Bayer aspirin you have in your bag for muscle aches may actually help stop you from dying if you take it during a heart attack?
Downtown. Lucky shot.
Can your pain reliever do that? Talk to your doctor now.
Next time I'll go easier on you.
Bayer, powerful pain relief and so much more.
Ask your doctor about Viagra.
Fortunately for Millie, Dr. Espinoza was in the office early, while someone else was drafting the marketing plan to sell his home. At 11, he was making his rounds, instead of visiting his title company. At 1 p.m., he was giving Pam good news, instead of checking for disclosure documents. And by the time Dr. Espinoza wrote the day's last prescription, someone else was at his home meeting a prospective buyer. You've got a life. We let you live it. We're realtors. Real estate is our life.
One question aroused fierce passions for centuries. What's for dinner? Until the day a great mediator appeared. The new Maytag Gemini. An amazing 2-in-1 range that allowed them to cook 2 different foods at 2 different temperatures for one complete meal.
Freedom.
A potentially deadly health threat spawned by the Northeast drought led today to an unprecedented response. This has never happened before. As CBS's Jeffrey Kaufman reports, the entire densely populated city of New York is to be sprayed in hopes of eradicating mosquitoes responsible for an outbreak of encephalitis.
The counterattack is being staged from the air, on the ground, from kids to cops. In New York, the mosquito is now public enemy number one.
I have a 6-year-old and I have a 3-year-old, and I have a fear that they will get bit. I mean, I sprayed my 6-year-old before we left the house from head to toe.
It's not just children who are being sprayed from head to toe, so is the entire city of New York, for the first time ever. St. Louis encephalitis has killed 3 elderly people, and it's been confirmed in 9 others. A dry summer had produced remarkably few mosquitoes.
We are facing a unique type of mosquito that thrives in these conditions, and it's capable of carrying a virus that we've never seen here in the city before.
The virus was carried to New York by migratory birds. Mosquitoes bite the birds and the cycle begins, passing it back and forth from bird to mosquito and eventually mosquito to human. The villain is Culex pipiens, or the common house mosquito. It's an urban bug that can breed in small pools of polluted water. The disease it carries causes swelling of the brain.
If we get it up on the knoll there.
Even outside New York, the hunt is on for living specimens as authorities try to determine just how far the virus has spread.
St. Louis encephalitis has a habit of appearing in urban centers. It has characteristically appeared across the country over the years. This is the first time it has occurred in the New York City area. I would just say it's New York's turn.
Now, New York, the city that's battled crime so successfully, has vowed an all-out war on the new villain threatening its streets. Jeffrey Kaufman, CBS News, New York.
Baseball's great Jim Catfish Hunter died today, stricken by the disease named after another Hall of Famer, Lou Gehrig. North Carolinian Hunter was baseball's premier pitcher with the Oakland A's and later with the New York Yankees. He won 20 games 5 seasons in a row and was rewarded with baseball's first multi-million-dollar contract. Jim Catfish Hunter, dead at 53. And straight ahead on the CBS Evening News, a new effort to solve the mystery of a 20-year-old plane crash.
Got heartburn up in your chest and throat? Only Gaviscon Liquid forms a soothing, protective barrier that helps keep acid down, something Maalox and Mylanta can't do. Gaviscon Liquid, it helps keep acid down where it belongs.
My feet are killing me.
You need new Podiasin Soak and Massage Gel. Only Podiasin dissolves in water for instant pain relief, then rubs into open pores for deep, lasting relief.
The pain is gone.
New Podiasin Soak and Massage Gel.
50 is courageous, confident, beautiful. 50 is being who you are. To make sure being who you are stays beautiful, there's Provital, for skin that looks revitalized, resilient, remarkable. Just like you. Provital from Olay. Proven to be why women over 50 look so wonderful.
It's never too early to share in your child's education. Gateway makes a PC with an extra kid-friendly keyboard and learning software for very young minds. Call us and get a Gateway Kid Builder PC with an Intel Celeron processor for just $949.
Oh, the agony some minivans put us through. Not Chevy Venture. It adapts to just about any situation. Chevy Venture offers more rear cargo room than Dodge Grand Caravan and easy flip and fold seats for even more room, which leaves you more time to enjoy life and others room for improvement. Chevy Venture. Let's go. Get a 99 Chevy Venture for 0% APR financing or $1,500 cash back. See your Chevy dealer today.
NATO promised today to cooperate with an investigation into a long-running mystery, the 1980 crash of an Italian jetliner. The leading theory, mark well it's only a theory, says the plane was mistakenly shot down by a NATO aircraft. But the facts have been shrouded, among other things, in official silence. Now an Italian judge is moving to force their disclosure in court. Tom Fenton has filed this report.
In 1980, an Italian airliner like this one on a run between Bologna and Sicily vanished from radar screens. Wreckage was found, and at first, structural failure was blamed. Forensic scientists later discovered there had been an explosion, and so Italian terrorists were blamed. But air traffic controllers at Rome's Ciampino airport knew exactly what had happened and tipped off an Italian journalist.
It was a missile which shot down that DC-9.
Newspaper correspondent Andrea Purgatori says for years NATO and the Pentagon denied there were military planes flying in the area.
Now, through the NATO information and through other evidences, we know for sure that fighters and transport military planes were flying at the time of the accident.
Part of that evidence comes from the National Transportation Safety Board in Washington. It concluded from this radar plot that the airliner had been attacked by a fast fighter plane. Other experts in Italy concluded there were two planes flying the same route. One flying underneath the DC-9 was probably the real target. All of this fits the most likely of several scenarios which have now emerged from the Italian investigation. That a Libyan MiG fighter, spying on American warships here north of Sicily, took refuge in the radar shadow of the DC-9 as it traveled south, but when attacked by a NATO plane, escaped, leaving the DC-9 to take the full force of an air-to-air missile. The report of the investigating judge, Rosario Priore, has just been published and speaks of a wall of silence and lies in which he believes the United States is a central player. He has now indicted 9 senior Italian military officials for participating in a cover-up. But the solution to the mystery hangs on the willingness of NATO, and in particular the United States, to tell all they know about what happened 19 years ago when 81 people died in an airliner. Tom Fenton, CBS News, London.
CBS's Eye on America is next. American full-time workers caught in a benefits gap and a plan to get them out.
The best way to cure athlete's foot so it won't come back is here. New Lamisil AT. So powerful, it does what no other brand can do. These take 4 weeks of treatment to kill the fungus. Lamisil AT is so powerful, with just 1 week's use, it stops the itching and burning and cures athlete's foot between the toes. So powerful, a clinical study showed 3 whole months later, users were still athlete's foot free. Now without a prescription. New Lamisil AT, the best way to cure athlete's foot.
Can a sunset make you happy? A child's laugh? A warm breeze? No. Not without emotional well-being inside. Now to help support the emotional wellness needed to enjoy life, there's Sammy from Nature Made. This natural supplement used around the world is now here for you. Nature Made Sam E, because happiness comes from the inside.
Medicine is always changing. The managed care companies that did not change did not survive. With managed care, or HMO, a health maintenance organization, the word that I think a lot of us are forgetting is that word health. Health is what it's all about. And that's what we're trained for. Prevent disease before it occurs, because if you catch it late, then you have more cost. And so you want to provide better quality to the patient initially. Preventive medicine is probably the best it's ever been.
Today's managed health care, there's a lot to feel good about.
So I like managed care because I can treat people earlier.
Love at first sight. What's that based on? Have you ever looked at someone and said, check her out, she looks loyal? Or, whoa, look at the morals on that guy. No, love at first sight is based on something else. Sight. Introducing the all-new 2000 Mitsubishi Eclipse, nicely equipped at 17.7. You'll even love what's on the inside.
In tonight's Eye on America, we give you another look at the problems faced by full-time workers who get no financial benefits from their jobs beyond their paychecks. Millions are in that position, and their numbers are growing. In part 2 of our CBS News series, Wyatt Andrews introduces you to a woman who just may have a solution.
You might say Melinda Giovango is in the construction business, the virtual kind. She started a business constructing websites. Clients like this auto dealer come to her for a place on the World Wide Web, and she puts it together.
When you want to go to a photo of a car,
right,
you help.
I make it a link.
But what Melinda and husband Mike have not put together is a family safety net. Neither of them has benefits, meaning no pension plan, no 401k, and no health insurance for their 3 girls.
If there's a crisis that comes up, we're going to be solely responsible for dealing with it. And we're not prepared for it. We're lost in society right now. There isn't anything out there that supports us.
Come on, uninsured!
In fact, running without benefits is now common in America. When Hope Wendell, another internet freelancer, meets her friends for basketball.
We have the insured versus the uninsured. I mean,
that's how you sort out the team?
Yeah.
They get equal numbers that way. Who has benefits versus who doesn't is a 90s kind of jump ball.
It's just nuts, the number of people that you'll meet who don't have insurance.
And the trend is not confined to the high-tech workforce. Labor economists now think that up to a third of all workers are part-timers, independent contractors, or freelancers. That's tens of millions of Americans with low benefits or no benefits.
This group needs a new safety net.
So meet Sarah Horowitz, a woman who believes that labor law in America should be turned around to make things equal for freelancers.
We need to start looking at the things that you get as a traditional employee and say there should be no difference for people in this workforce.
Horowitz, who leads the nonprofit group Working Today, says too many laws assume that benefits come through employers, an assumption that actually harms freelancers. Example: compare Melinda Giovengo to a full benefit company worker, assuming they both make $40,000. Under the law, that company worker pays only half the Social Security tax. Melinda pays it all. At a company, the group rate for family health insurance is $1,700 per year, but without a group, it's around $5,000. At a company, the value of 401k matches and life insurance is $2,000. For Melinda, it's zero. And a 30-year company pension would be worth $12,000 a year. Melinda, again, zero. It's a stunning benefits gap Sarah Horowitz argues must be closed.
This family's working hard. Why shouldn't they have health insurance? Why shouldn't they have an easy way to put together a pension?
Her solution: change the laws to allow freelancers like Hope Wendell to join together in nonprofit purchasing groups. That way, in health insurance,
they would have health insurance that was at an affordable rate that had full tax deductions.
same thing with 401ks and pensions.
You should let groups provide 401ks. There should be group pensions rather than pensions from an employer. Just the kinds of things that we think make up a civilized job are the things that this workforce needs.
These workers won't stay at one company for 30 years. That system is fading. So what they want is a new system that delivers benefits. The problem is, it needs to be invented. In Manhattan, Wyatt Andrews for Eye on America.
And that's part of our world tonight. I'll be back later with 48 Hours. Harold Dow has a preview for you.
A child is abducted. His mother arranged it.
Do you have your handcuffs?
Extreme?
Yeah.
When parents are desperate to control their kids.
A child sits in here? That's kind of scary.
You've never seen a school like this. Later on 48 Hours.
So until 48 Hours at 10 o'clock, 9 Central, Dan Rather reporting for the CBS Evening News. Have a good evening.
For news 24 hours a day, CBS.com on the internet and on our interactive partner, America Online, at keyword CBS News.
Would you shell out $14 grand a year for a luxury preschool? These parents do. It's preschool like you've never seen before, tomorrow on the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather. CBS News, winner of 6 Emmys in broadcast journalism. Experience CBS News.
Coming up on News Channel 5 at 6, dozens of acres in Williamson County are on fire tonight. Coming up, which neighborhoods were in jeopardy of catching fire?
Plus, nearly 40 TWA passengers and crew had to be evacuated from this plane. Coming up, what caused this belly landing?